Tomorrow is an exciting prospect, and tomorrow holds thrilling challenges. But tomorrow is almost here, and frankly, we can't wait.
For this speaker, the applause is loud and clear.
So, in conclusion, I'd like to say, thank you.
For this speaker, the applause is polite.
That's our department's story. Now, we believe in it, and we know it's right for you. We're recommending total commitment.
For this speaker, the applause is silent, but still loud and clear.
The unit count is 384,185. An analysis of these figures produces self-evident conclusions, which you've probably made by now.
For this speaker, the applause is also silent, but certainly not loud and clear. And so it goes. All day long, we communicate and win or lose applause. From large audiences, from small audiences, from audiences of one, from audiences we can see, from audiences unseen. Applause surely soothes the ego, and the lack of it surely hurts. But there's more to it than that. How far we go, how fast we go, how much we can move others, how good or bad we feel about ourselves often depends on our ability to speak effectively, our ability to win applause. Applause. For an actor, what it's all about. A symbol of recognition, career advancement, confidence. But is it really so different for you? We just win our applause in different arenas. Well, no matter what your role in life, effective speech is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. To think straight is not enough. You must express your ideas effectively, and thus our film. To present to you Dr. Georgette McGregor's very helpful 7 steps to effective speech. Why? So that you can make a speech every other week before an audience of 2,000? No. So that you'll speak more effectively all day long, winning the kind of responses and the kind of applause you're after. And who is Dr. Georgette McGregor? Well, she's a remarkable woman and a superb teacher. A doctor of education who has taught speech and communications at UCLA, and who now works as a consultant for some of the nation's major corporations. The Bank of America, IBM, Fluor, 20th Century Fox, Pepsi-Cola, and General Electric among them. Her goal? Whether she's working one-on-one with a top executive or in seminar groups like this one, to make people less self-conscious, more confident, more able to win applause, whoever they are, wherever they are. And where Dr. McGregor is right now is right here. Georgette, why is the study of speech even more important today?
Speech is as big as life itself. Today, we spend 70 to 80% of our waking hours each day communicating. And a good share of that communication is speech. But often, a bright person seems less than bright because that person's speech is careless or dull or indifferent.
But you'd think that a truly bright person would be articulate.
Oh, but there are several common roadblocks. One is our educational system. Business thinks that people come to them with good verbal skills. Often they don't. Public speaking generally is an elective, and I believe it should be a requirement. Secondly, and perhaps this is the biggest roadblock, most of us are really very insecure, very self-conscious, particularly in uncommon situations, such as when we are asked to speak before a group. The audience doesn't defeat us. We defeat ourselves.
And you're saying that in just 7 steps you can rid us of that self-consciousness and build our confidence?
Oh, not completely, Fred. The fact you have a new tennis racket and professional lessons doesn't make you an expert tennis player. You've got to do it. Practice and play. What the 7 steps will do is help you to plan and prepare to speak more effectively. And it will help you to learn how to make those butterflies fly in formation. Becoming an expert takes doing, and lots of it.
But Georgette, people don't spend their lives talking publicly. Will these steps really help with day-to-day communications?
Certainly. There are many bonuses to studying effective speech. You learn to organize and clarify your ideas and to make those ideas better understood. You increase your poise. You improve your personality. And you really improve your value to your organization, thus speeding up promotions or helping you make more sales.
I'm convinced. Let's move on to step number 1.
Step 1, commit yourself.
Say, aren't we supposed to be working on your speech for the National Sales Rally?
Oh, that's 3 weeks away. It isn't even time to start procrastinating yet.
Commit yourself. Really commit yourself. Which means investing enough time and energy in your speech and in yourself so that you'll perform to the best of your ability. Don't cheat your audience and don't cheat yourself. A lack of preparation breeds fear. And fear can make speech making a very unpleasant experience.
Are most people that afraid of making a speech?
Fred, in one study done on fears, the first fear listed was the fear of public speaking. Embarrassing oneself before others. It was listed before the fear of death. Now, that tells us something about the need to work on self-consciousness, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But how do you dispose of fear? I mean, I've seen top actors waiting in the wings to go on, and their palms are dripping.
Don't confuse normal butterflies and real fear. Speakers eliminate fear the way actors do, with good preparation. And preparation doesn't just happen. You make it happen. But I guarantee that you'll be far less afraid if you're really prepared than if you work on your speech at the last possible moment. So commit yourself.
But I think no matter how strong the commitment, can a person who's not naturally outgoing or charismatic become a good speaker?
Sure. Certainly, charisma or some special charm or aura is an asset, but it's by no means essential. A mediocre speaker can become excellent with practice. Famous people like Winston Churchill, Franklin Roosevelt worried about facing their audiences in the beginning, but they committed themselves to becoming better, and they did. And so can anyone. Commit yourself. The other steps are meaningless unless you tackle step 1.
All right, so we're committed. And now step 2.
Step 2. Analyze your audience.
Audiences come in all sizes, in all shapes, in all ages, of many moods, of many persuasions, of many educational and economic backgrounds. Winning applause means understanding your audience. Who's out there? Why are they there? What do they want to hear? What do you want them to do after they've heard it? Buy an idea, or a product, or a candidate, or be moved to action, or give, or simply to be informed. You must know everything and anything about your audience if you're to successfully share your thoughts with them. What do they know of your topic? Would audiovisuals be in order? Why so much audience analysis?
It's called homework, and it pays off. A phone call or two asking the right questions will head off possible trouble. It makes no sense to prepare a 30-minute speech if they've planned on your speaking 15. And if you're the third speaker on a panel, it's a terrible feeling to hear the second one giving your speech. It isn't a good idea to come formally dressed if it turns out to be Western night. And it's impossible to persuade an audience to do something if you immediately turn them off.
Morning. Okay, now let's start off this morning by everybody on this side saying a great big hi to all the guys and the gals on this side, okay? Here we go now, all together. Hi! Hi?
Never shout in the morning. Morning speeches are more effective if they're crisp and businesslike. Save your gimmicks, humor, and anecdotes for later in the day. Warm them up, yes, but to ideas, not personality.
So I asked the restaurant manager, why is it that you only hire midget bartenders? And he says, well, it makes the drinks look bigger.
Be careful if you tell jokes. The same thing isn't funny or in good taste to everyone.
Get it?
Be sure to use humor suitable for your audience. If you're talking to a banking group, gather banking anecdotes. Relate these anecdotes to your central theme, but never use humor for humor's sake alone.
Let's see then. Analyzing your audience helps you choose the proper subject, it helps you pinpoint the speech's purpose, and it helps you avoid goof-ups, right?
That's right. And in theory, it's now time for step 3. The really big one in effective speech. Organize your thoughts.
And this is where I organize.
Well, the where isn't the important thing. What is important is that you choose a time when you're not too busy or preoccupied or worried, because you really need to shift your mental and emotional gears to the speech if you're going to make your time truly productive.
Okay, I'm ready to begin.
Not begin, organize. By this time, I hope you already have a speech file. From the minute you accept a speech assignment, you start filing clippings, ideas, anecdotes, quotations, statistics, really anything you hear or see or think about that might be useful for your speech. Their presence in your file has an even greater benefit. You don't start with a blank piece of paper.
You start with some thoughts to get your creative juices going, huh?
Right. Now, if possible, stick to your subject that you know very well and which interests you a great deal, because this helps you to be enthusiastic and confident, and it helps you to be natural. You're not pretending verbally to be something you're not.
Georgette, an audience can really sense it when you're faking or winging it, can't they?
Oh, you bet they can. Or when you haven't adequately thought through the content of your speech.
Okay, I have my file. Do I need a title for my speech?
Definitely. If it's to be publicized or reprinted, thinking of a title has another advantage. It sometimes helps you zero in on what your speech is really about. But often, the right title doesn't occur to you until you've planned your speech. So try this. See if you can state your theme in a single sentence. This not only crystallizes your thinking, it convinces you that you don't have to talk all night to make your point.
Oh, so we're back to length. How long is too long?
Oh, there's no right answer to that. Although I personally think you start downhill after 20 minutes. I have a McGregorism, though, and that is always leave them hungry, wanting to know more than you've told them. How many times have you seen a speaker be positively captivating for 20 or 30 minutes and then keep going and going? The audience doesn't remember the captivating part, just the squirming part.
Ah, I've squirmed a little in my time, so I know what you mean. Okay, now I've sorted out my file. I have a title in mind. Do I outline?
I really believe that behind every applause-winning speech, there's an outline. You plan what you want to say in the introduction, then you develop those ideas in the body, then you summarize and conclude in the conclusion. A cliche, but a good one, for sales presentations or speeches is that you tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you've told them. And I suggest that you start with the tell them, then move and plan your close, and then go back to the introduction, which will be much easier to write then, if you're sure of what you're saying in the body and in the conclusion. You see, if you start at the beginning without really thinking through the rest, you force and strain. A good idea for developing the body of the speech is to ask this question: what would I want to know about the subject if I were in the audience? Then you put these questions in an attractive, appealing, logical way, and you develop your speech around them. Be careful, though, not to develop too many main ideas. 3 or 4 main ideas are enough to digest in a 20 or 30-minute speech. And as a rule of thumb, don't use less than 7 minutes to develop a large concept. You see, that gives your audience time to understand it before moving on to a new idea. And before we do move on to our next step, let's add some quick tips for organizing your thoughts. 1, say something in the first minute of your talk that will immediately attract the attention of the audience.
Hook 'em, right?
Right. 2, keep your style simple and direct and natural. Don't show off all those big words you know. And 3rd, rest your audience occasionally. This can be with humor or a quick change of mood or pace, whatever. And 4, have a big close.
Let it all hang out.
Right. Appeal to the emotions of your audience. Expand their imaginations. And do it with all the natural drama that's in you. It not only makes for a strong conclusion, it convinces your audience there was a reason for listening.
Step number 3, organize your thoughts. And step number 4.
Step 4, think sight and sound.
Think sight. Effective speech is much more than what you say. What others see and feel about you as a speaker travels much faster than words. The way we sit, stand, walk, look at others, or avoid their eyes tells a great deal about us, in life or on the speaker's platform. Your posture, stance, gestures, facial expressions, all your nonverbal communications affect the audience. Think sight from the word go. The minute you stand up, you're the focal point. The audience decides in a split second or two whether or not they'll listen to you. The more at ease you look and act, the more receptive they'll be. Do dress appropriately and comfortably. Avoid wearing clothes you've never worn before. You won't feel natural in them yet. Definitely keep your shoulders relaxed. Stiff shoulders will tire your audiences as well as you. Don't start too quickly. It's a sure sign of nervousness and doesn't give the audience a chance to drink you in. Take a second or two to look out at the audience. See and feel them. Let them see you. Don't start with your head down and shuffling papers. And don't twist a pen or everyone's eyes go to the pen. Don't continually adjust your glasses. It's not only distracting, it can be downright dangerous. Don't drum or bang. Don't rock or roll. Don't develop utensilitis. Don't load your pipe. Don't pull at your hair. Don't twist your beads.
Spring, they will probably look...
Do establish good eye contact. Don't move from one part of the audience to another mechanically. Don't think of the audience as a sea of eyes. Look at a single friendly face. Talk to that person. Let the audience feel the good vibrations of your public conversation. Then move to another person. Try to really reach them. Don't stay with one person too long. That person might become uncomfortable. Even if the audience is large and you can only see the top of heads, look right at them as though you can see them. Beware of mechanical gestures. Let your gestures be completely natural or forget them. Avoid threatening gestures like a pointed finger or clenched fist. They make you look angry. An open palm is an invitation to join you. When not in use, let your hands and arms hang relaxed at your side. If you do place your hands on the lectern, do so with ease.
As Mark Twain said,
Don't hang on as though you'd fall down if you let go. When you conclude,
resolution. Thank you. Goodbye.
take your time departing.
Think sound.
You wouldn't believe what an exciting and exhilarating experience it is for me to be here today.
Don't talk in a
Reminds me
monotone.
of the two gentlemen that went in.
That works better than sleeping pills. Learn to put more emphasis and inflection into your delivery. Talk up and enunciate clearly. Don't make the audience strain to hear you. They'll give up after a while. Talk with your jaw open. Practice talking around a cork inserted between the front teeth. It will keep you from mumbling once you get the hang of it.
Think voice. Practice deep breathing. It really helps your voice and delivery. Take a breathing break every morning and every afternoon. A few deep breaths, stretch, and relax. It increases your energy and relieves stress, in addition to improving your speech. Or blow a feather about the room, keeping it in the air. This is excellent for lips as well as proper breathing. We suggest you do this alone, though. People worry.
Is this one? Can I move it? Oh.
Don't catch microphone mania. Some perfectly normal people go berserk the minute they see a mic. Don't lean too close to the microphone.
Peter Parsons, our comptroller,
You'll pop your P's and B's if you do.
and in all probability, this will be a pretty big...
More than that, you'll get feedback if you're too close.
That's perfect.
Your mouth should be from 6 to 10 inches from the mic. Remember, too, a microphone exaggerates finger drumming, paper rustling, and throat clearing. Avoid them. And don't point with a hand mic. Your voice will not only come and go, you're liable to get all tangled up.
Whatever kind of microphone you do use, try to familiarize yourself with it ahead of time. Learn how to adjust it to the best height for you. If you practice all this ahead of time, you'll be able to use the best tip of all for a microphone. Ignore it.
The economic outlook looks promising for the third quarter.
Which brings us to step number 5, practice.
Now that has to be a must. But practice what? Everything?
Everything. Practice getting up and sitting down in a chair. Practice walking to and from the lectern. Practice your posture. Work on those sight and sound problems we just talked about. Professional speakers, on the average, spend from a half hour to 2 hours preparing for every minute they speak. When it is possible, practice in a room where you'll speak. Stand behind the lectern. Check the acoustics. You'll be much more relaxed if there are no surprises. If the lectern is a sophisticated one, know how it works. Be sure you can see the audience and that it can see you. And by all means, rehearse your talk in front of a mirror like our friend here. Watch yourself. Listen to your voice. Work on being natural.
Wait a minute. Work on being natural? Isn't that a contradiction?
Well, natural doesn't necessarily mean the way we came. It means learning to be relaxed, yet in control. Not contrived or put on. Some people who converse naturally think they have to be something else when delivering a speech. They try to star, or they try to be an orator, or they try to snow the audience. Giving a speech is simply conversation on stage. Don't upstage yourself. Be yourself. Never mind being a star. Just be good. Another good idea is talking your speech into a tape recorder and then playing it back.
Fortunately for us, we manufacture a product.
It answers all kinds of questions for you. Are you speaking too fast? How's your change of pace? Are you slurring? And if it's available to you, videotape your speech and then study that tape. But one word of caution, instant replay can be very destructive to one's self-image. Tape your speech 2 or 3 times. The first time, you'll probably be too self-conscious and too concerned about the cosmetic effect.
You mean worried about chins and hairlines rather than the speech?
Right.
What about memorizing?
Oh, don't do it. A momentary slip of memory can be disastrous. Memorize ideas, not words.
Uh-huh. And reading?
I'm against that, too. Unless your speech is highly technical or statistical, it's very difficult to make reading sound natural and hold the audience's attention. Use your outline or cards with key ideas or key words if you want a guide. If you must read your speech because someone else has written the speech for you, be sure you read it aloud. And then, at the same time, make any changes in the words or phrasing until it sounds like you, and you're comfortable with it. Familiarize yourself with the speech, or your performance will seem canned and lackluster, and obvious. Fred, I asked a man recently how he'd enjoyed a top executive speech, and he said he read it. He read it badly, and it wasn't worth reading.
Oh, ouch. So we'll definitely practice. Step number 6.
Step 6, relax. Stay loose. Stay flexible.
Don't arrive for your speaking engagement like this. You'll never be relaxed if you make it just before you're introduced. How much better if you give yourself transition time, time to relax, and to think speech. Prepare yourself psychologically. See yourself winning applause. See yourself succeeding. Expect yourself to be a little nervous, that's natural. But know it won't bother you because you're prepared. And speakers seldom look as nervous as they feel.
Get ready physiologically, too. Professional speakers do all kinds of things before leaving their hotel rooms. They do shoulder rolls to relax. They stand tall. They practice deep breathing. They do knee bends. We call it Georgette's Gym.
Stay flexible, too. If you have the chance, size up the group during the mingling hour. Listen, you might learn something. Keep your options open. Have 2 or 3 ways to start your speech, then select the most appropriate at the time. Try to relax yourself again while waiting to speak. Use your adrenaline. Wiggle your toes. Take another deep breath. Relax the jaw. Push your chair back when you do stand. In other words, stay loose.
And whatever you do step number 7. Enjoy. And there's not much more to say than that. Don't be a reluctant speaker. There's no reason to feel reluctant. If you followed the first 6 steps, you will enjoy your speech. And the audience will pick up your good vibrations and enjoy themselves with you.
Georgette, the enjoying comes with the experience, doesn't it?
Right. Experience, experience. Applause, applause.
And after a while, everyone's a ham. You'll probably even volunteer for speaking engagements.
And there will be so many payoffs in your everyday life, too. So try these steps, and soon, for audiences of 1 or 1,000.
Step 1, commit yourself. Step 2, analyze your audience. Step 3, organize your thoughts. Step 4, think sight and sound. Step 5, practice. Step 6, relax. Step 7, enjoy.
And step 8 through 800, do it. Do it. You'll get more out of life if you do. More out of yourself. Move ahead faster and farther. You'll feel yourself grow. Remember what we said in the beginning? Effective speech is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity.
And applause? Well, let's start hearing it right now.
For you.